They're trying to show you these kind of things. Super dead. And then he gets all these powers. He-Man, I have the power. Lionel, thunder, thunder, thundercats. Oh,
What's the meaning of life? Is it in the Bible? Is it about thriving or survival? Should I eat idle or hunt with a rifle?
which one?
Is life a cycle or a spiral? Should I believe in Metatron or Archangel Michael? Shiva the backfat leader of Jesus and his disciples. Is deciphering the meaning even vital? Is there an afterlife or is death final? Is it about charity in the face of calamity? Is my purpose to find a wife and start a family?
Yes, 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 yes. Big up family tree. Respect to everybody in the building. Everyone tuned in. My name is Jedi, aka Jediah, and I'm here for Jedionline. Today I'm gonna take you through etymology. Etymology, word sound power, the importance of words, and we're just gonna have a little look around. I've got a couple tabs open. Some things I want to look at, or some things I want to show you. But after that, depending on how long it takes, sorry, family. Yeah, after that, depending on how long it takes, how quickly I can get through the shit that I've seen, I might want to expand it. So I've written a few notes to help me stay on track. And let's see how this goes, yeah? So big up to everybody in the building. Got my green lighter and my green t-shirt. Get me on this glorious day. Let's get this popping, man. Boom, bam, boom. Right, so yeah, etymology. First of all, etymology is the study of the history of words, their origins, and how their form and meaning have changed over time. By extension, the term etymology of a word means the origin of the particular word. When talking about places, place names, there is a specific term, toponology, toponymy, but we're not fucking with that. Alright, for a language such as Greek, with long written history, etymologists make use of texts in their languages and texts about the languages to gather knowledge about how words were used during the earlier periods of their history and when they entered the languages in question. Etymologists also apply the methods of comparative linguistics to reconstruct information about languages that are too old for any direct information to be available. Right? So basically, they freestyle. Yeah? They do a lot of freestyling. They compare languages. Obviously, they're learned in this thing. But essentially, when they get to these forgotten languages, they basically use their kind of common sense or what they believe, or they cross-reference it with other languages, and they come up with a composite of what is true. Now, this is very interesting that they do this, because it seems like some of the cornerstone sciences that we put our trust in, yeah, language and space travel and shit like that, what we know about the nature of our reality seems to hinge a lot on one specific group's monopoly on how we should look at things. So yeah, man, just bear that in mind, innit? Just bear that in mind. All right. By analyzing related languages with a technique known as comparative methods, linguistics can make inferences about their shared parent languages and vocabulary. In this way, word roots have been found that can be traced all the way back to the origin of, for instance, the Indo-European language family. All right. Even though etymological research originally grew from philological tradition, much current etymological research is done by language families where little or no early documentation is done on language families where little or no early documentation is available, such as Uralic and Austronesian. I've never heard of Austronesian. Uralic languages from a language family of 38 languages spoken by approximately 25 million people, predominantly in northern Eurasia. The Uralic languages with the most native speakers are Hungarian, Finnish, and Estonian, which are the official languages of Hungary, Finland, and Estonia. And Austronesian, just going to break this down quickly. The Austronesian languages are a language family that is widely dispersed throughout maritime Southeast Asia, Madagascar, and the islands on the Pacific Ocean, with a few members in continental Asia. Alright, cool. Was there anything else? Alright, cool. So anyway, found this. The dirty etymology of 9 everyday words. So basically what I'm trying to bring to your attention is that regardless of what you think of a word or how you use a word, most words clearly have a root word, a root word that they stem from. And in using that root word, you are, in my belief, tapping into the energy or the vibration of that original word. Now, I do believe in original words. I do believe in, what is the name of this thing? Let me see. Have I got it up here? I'm going to get into it in a minute. But I do believe that they were names and words that were nominated for specific things, and to this day they hold the value of that specific thing or the purpose of naming it that specific thing. So I don't think that no matter what you do, no matter who you wrongly assign or what you wrongly assign that word to, that label, that description, that name to, the energy of that name, description, and label will carry through regardless. Yeah. So I'm gonna get into that a little bit more right there. So here is a few words. Yeah. Just gonna go through this. Right. Boom. So orchid or orchid. Yeah. Or orchid, a flower, right? But they say it's a pair of testicles. Take a look at certain orchid roots, and you'll probably notice that they look like testicles. If not, you've set yourself apart from multiple generations of language makers that simply couldn't help but name the whole plant family after this snicker-worthy observation. Our contemporary word for flower, introduced in 1845, comes from the Greek orchis, which literally translates as testicle. Speakers of Middle English in the 1300s came up with phonetically different word inspired by the same exact dirty thought. They called the flower ballokwort, from ballocks or testicles, which itself evolved from bellucus, the old English word for balls. Now, I was just letting you know what orchid was derived from, yeah, from balls, from nuts, yeah, ball bags. But check this. Have you ever been out on a spring day and noticed like a funny air and a smell in the air? What I think that smell, sorry to be crude, I believe is like semen. It's like a semen smell, yeah. And I don't know. I think it's the plants pollinating. Nature, like it's nature's way of saying, look, I'm reproducing, innit? Like, so I don't know, man. I don't know if you've ever smelt a plant and it just smells. I don't know. It's not a particularly nice smell in my recollection. It's not a particularly nice smell, but it's the smell of nature, of seed. It's the smell of a seed. It's the smell of okra. Okra's got that same kind of smell, yeah. And it's the okra seed it has like a sticky kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, sticky kind of liquid with it, an okra seed, and it smells like a spring day. Like, I don't know, man. On a spring day, when all the flowers are open up, it's got a funny smell. Another smell I don't like is the smell of tulips. Yeah? I don't know if you've ever had tulips, the plants in your house, but once they open up and they are ready for pollination, should I say, they have this weird smell. Like, and I don't like the smell. So yeah, man. I just thought that was interesting that they named orchids or flowers after nuts, testicles. Alright, cool. So porcelain. Oops, it's just a pig's vagina. The word porcelain comes from the material Italian's name, porcellina, which literally translates as cowrie shell and refers to porcelain's similarly smooth surface. But the Italian cowrie shell, in turn, takes its name from porcella, a young sow, because the shell's shape is reminiscent of a small female pig's vulva. Alright, vanilla. Oops, you just said vagina. During Hernando Cortez's conquest of the Aztec Empire, his men discovered a vanilla plant and dubbed it vanilla, literally little pod or little sheath, from the Latin vagina sheath. The conquistadors drew the name from the shape of the plant's bodies, which needs to be split open in order to extract the beans they enclose. Still a bit of stretch as they more closely resemble tough, dark string beans. Funny enough, the 70s slang sense of vanilla as conventional or ordinary sexual preferences has nothing to do with its original etymology. Alright, so boom. Seminar. You just said semen. Seminar comes from the Latin seminarium, meaning breeding ground or plant nursery. See? I'm on point, man. Plant nursery, which itself comes from the Latin seminarius, meaning of seed. Given the word's phonetical likeness, it's pretty obvious that they all come down to Latin semen, seed. So yeah, semen, seed, plant life, all of that shit has got the same fucking smell. It's got that smell. I don't know. Yeah, it's just got a smell. Fundamental. In 15th century, the 15th century word fundamental is derived from the late Latin fundamentalis, meaning of the foundation, which itself is back from the earlier Latin fundamentium. While taking another step back, won't lead you to the buttocks. A small crooked step forward will take you to fundamentum's more immediate descendant, fundament, which has meant anus or buttocks since the 13th century. So fundament means anus or buttocks. I didn't know that. I know this next one, avocado. Avocado literally means testicle. Yet another generation that looked at plants and saw bulls. In 18th century Spaniards took the vegetable's fruit name. Well, it's not a vegetable, is it? Took the fruit's name from an earlier Spanish version, aguacate, which evolved from the region's pre-conquest Nahuatl. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Ahuacate, meaning testicle. Pencil. In the 14th century, pencil took on the meaning of an artist's fine brush or camel hair, from the French pincel, meaning the same thing minus the camel part. Pincel came from the Latin penicillus, which means paintbrush or pencil, but literally translates as little tail, the diminutive of the Latin penis. Alright, so it goes on with other words and that. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else. Origins of British insults, lummox, skyvar, minga. Often held at the opposite sex, to call someone a minga is to say they are objectively unattractive. Though etymologists struggle to agree where the word came from, it seems likely that it stems from the Old Scots word meng, meaning shit. We didn't say it was pretty. Alright, cool. I think I'm done on this little page. Oh yeah, shit, I saw this as well. 14 words that are their opposites. Now, like, in magic, in these things, like the intent of the word, bro, just pay attention to this. Some words mean the exact opposite of what you're saying. Yeah? Some words can mean the exact opposite of what you're saying. Bearing in mind, yeah? Yeah? Sanction. Okay. Sanction. So it says here, sanction, from sancere, to ratify, can mean give official permission or approval for an action. Or conversely, it can mean to impose a penalty on. So if I sanction, I can approve it. Yeah, I sanction that move. Approve, I'm giving you the red green light, and at the same time I can impose sanctions on you, which means I'm putting the red light. I'm putting a stop to certain things. Like for instance, they do international sanctions on certain countries that don't, quote unquote, toe the line in this little pantomime that they've got of how the world works. They say, oh, we're going to put sanctions on a country. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? Left can mean either remaining or departed. Yeah, if the gentlemen have withdrawn to the drawing room for after dinner cigars, who's left? The gentlemen have left, and their ladies are left. You understand? So you can get left behind, or it could be who's left. So it could be the remainder or the subtraction. Dust, along with the next two words, is a noun turned into a verb, meaning either to add or to remove the thing in question. Only the context will tell you which it is. So you can do the dusting, yeah. You can dust to remove dust, innit? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna dust. Oh, you need to dust, man. Or you can dust, sprinkle, dust, or like you can dust places. So yeah, man, you get the picture there, yeah. So you got words like seed, which can mean you can seed to remove seeds, or you can seed to add seeds. Stone, same thing as seed, I believe. Cleave, like meat cleaver, or you can cleave to something. Resign works as a contronym in writing. This time we have homographs, but not homophones. Resign, meaning to quit, is spelled the same as resign, meaning to sign up again. Oh, resign. Oh shit. But it's pronounced differently. Shit, yeah. To quit, to resign, and to oh shit. Fast can mean moving rapidly, as in running fast, or fixed. Steadfast, unmoving, as it's holding fast. It's colours. That's actually deep. Off, to deactivate, as in turn off, but also activated, as in the alarm went off. So English is a fucked up language, yeah? Full of spells, full of head fucks. It's designed, and it's a language of witches, man. It's a witch language, man. All right. What else we got? Screen can mean to show, to screen a movie, or to hide. Yeah, an unsightly thing. Oh, we need to screen you from that. Screen that. It's been screened, or it's been screened. I'm screening it. I'm showing it, or I'm blocking it. So yeah, man, just letting you know, innit? Just trying to show you language, and the way we have been taught to use language is one that keeps us spellbound, and one that keeps our brains spellbound. But even going through this, I feel like I'm just fucking struggling to read. It's one of them ones because it kind of is going against a certain mechanism in your brain when you're opening up realization of these type of things. Here I've got something about the hidden rituals in language. I saw a good few things in this, so I'm just gonna play it. I ain't watched it all at all. I watched maybe 8 minutes of it, but I'm gonna play it. It's by a guy called Lifting the Veil. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the link in the description to everything that I've kind of looked up, and if I need to look up anything else, I'm gonna put the link in the description for all of it for you to go through all of it. You can see there's a lot of shit on etymology, yeah. Alright, cool. Let's keep this moving. So yeah, let me keep this moving.
And the more we can truly ever know where we're going is by knowing where we are. And by knowing where we are, we have to know where we've come from. And so not to think of this in a linear perspective, but to think of it as, in a cycle, in a cyclical perspective, to where we've always known where we've come from. And somewhere along the way, the circuit just got severed.
Ouroboros.
So now we're working our way back to complete.
The serpent that eats its tail, Ouroboros.
By tracing back our present back into the past, we can make that completion and complete the circuit, the cycle and be able to reconnect our future with our past so that we have a full understanding of history, a full understanding of our story,
Sankofa.
not just his.
Yeah, we got Sankofa for that.
A full understanding of the now by combining these two. Awesome. You have brought out a video a while ago about etymology and language that has received quite a few views on your YouTube channel.
Thus,
all right,
like a net.
So this is the video I was looking for.
On your YouTube channel.
Like in telling you about how we story.
A full etymology and language that has received quite a few views.
I watched this video
on your YouTube channel.
How do I begin to invite you on this journey? Is it by telling you about how we've been unwittingly cast into the mold of ancient spells from which we get our modern spelling? Cast just like a mold, or perhaps like a net, while caught like fish in the net of spells and spelling which have been cast, thus sentencing us to life sentences and the curses of this cursive, which are just terms, like serving a prison term. So we've been sentenced to the wards of these words, which can be deadly as swords if misunderstood. Or perhaps you missed the understanding of my terms, or possibly the syllables of my syllables, or even the ancient rites of modern writing. We languish in our language in anguish ever since the ancient times of the English Angus, and the phony phonetic phonics of the ancient Phoenician Phoenix.
Babylon!
How is it that we've been cast into this mold of spelling? Could it be, possibly, a form of government? From the Latin root govern, to control, and ment or mentalis, meaning mind, to control the mind, as government. English, as a tool of phonic phonetics by the phony Phoenician Phoenix, reflects the creativity and cunning genius of the human race, which of course is not a race at all unless you're just another rat caught in this daily maze of this rat race, of this human race, against one another. We draw money from our banks, which are the edges of a river, which flows in currents to the sea.
Jeez! That's hard.
Which is why it's called currency, because cash flows, like pyroclastic ash flows, to the sea. Which is why we can trace back our roots of modern trade to the ancient Phoenician trade roots, and why our mundane weekdays seem to keep us in a perpetually weak days, until we are so weakened that we barely make it to the weekend. So each day we routinely awake in the morning, which is a Monday morning ritual, conversely conversing a morning at a wake for the dead.
Come on.
And
tell
thus
him, man.
the Bible speaks.
Tell him, man. Don't tell me good morning, yo, fam. Now tell me good morning. Yeah? 'Cause I ain't in morning.
Shall walk the earth.
The moon worshippers, they mourn when the sun comes out. The sun is for me, bro. The sun feeds me, so yeah. I'm not in mourning. I'm in fucking, what's the word? It's jubilation, bro. I'm celebrating. I don't even know. I don't even like the word celebrating either. But I'm happy, joyous, you know, when the sun's out. So why would I be mourning? Why would it be mourning? It don't make no sense.
So it appears that they already are, without even knowing it, just by the strange language of which they know not the true origins and what their words mean in etymology, and thus the significance and the signs of the sins in signification of their signatures on these dead legal fictions, such as IDs, mortgages, or mortgages, meaning death pledge, bills, etc. Because our citizenship begins when we board the citizen ship.
Come on.
Which sails the high seas, carrying the seamen. And it all begins when the male ship docks in the female slot, or slip, also known as its berth, and unloads the cargo, or the seamen, which sail up the waters of the canal. So she then gets pregnant and now carries the precious cargo and will give birth to the new citizen, which must now register to board that citizen's ship and repeat the cycle all over again.
Maritime
until
law.
the citizens catch on to the ancient.
Cause we're underwater, fam. It's all ahead. It's underwater. We're underwater. Yeah, this is why, you know, that's why your sky is blue, bro. I believe we are underwater, and this is why we are affected, and why we're run by Admiralty law, maritime law. Yeah, the law of the sea. Man, when you go court, they put you in a dock. You feel me?
Of phony phonetic Phoenicians, tools of commerce and piracy of the high seas, and the human commodity through the use of their made.
I'm not gonna lie though. I don't know if you lot see these earrings. Oh shit. Yo, homie. Fuck. He's got all the buttons down for this thing. He was trying to show top chest. Yo, you need to come. You need to watch some of my gym videos. Lifting the veil, big up, yeah, for what you're doing. But them earrings have got to go. I know they got to go. And like, yeah, come gym innit. Come gym and get you a top chest, man. You get you a top chest, man.
Language, which gives us our modern English. It's my honor to extend to you an invitation into Etymology Esoterica Grammatica, or the study of root meanings of esoteric spelling. We're going to be presenting cutting-edge research from the top researchers on the planet, from sources such as Christopher Lord at Truthersy House of Wisdom, Jordan Maxwell, Santos Bonacci, Michael Tazarian, Kate of Gaia, Mark Passio, and other great researchers, just to name a few, and discussing the topic of Philosophia. Philo, the love of, and Sophia, wisdom.
Sophia. Okay. So yeah, man. Let's see if there's more. There's a little bit more. I know it's a long
And
video.
that has helped a lot of people waking up to the reality that we're living in.
Yeah, let me skip
That I
past
like
this. There was something-
Mind.
Oh,
Right?
It shows how like these words are all linked, you know, whether they're directly linked by definition or by, you know, etymology, they're linked in some way or another.
trust me, man.
As I see, the birthday cake is just like a circle, like the zodiac circle.
Okay, watch
and
this
you know,
now.
when the whole year passed and you are celebrating your birthday, it means that sun traveled the whole circle and, you know, came back to that place. And you are lighting the candles with the vision of the fire, and then again you are slicing that cake to the some amount of the parts, like zodiac signs.
She was
and
talking
you
about a
just, you know,
birthday cake, yeah?
marking that day.
She's talking about a birthday cake and how a birthday cake in her eyes is a ritual. I might even go back and see that, because I flicked to that bit earlier. And the Jehovah's Witnesses, funny enough, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, and we never celebrated birthdays, yeah? And to this day, I've kind of got that inbuilt in me. Now, their wisdom, or their reasoning, shall I say, for not celebrating a birthday was in honor of John the Baptist, who on the Queen's birthday, when he was in jail or whatever, on the Queen's birthday, she asked for his head on a platter, on a silver platter. So because of that, they're just like, yeah, bun birthdays, in a nutshell, yeah? Now, I know there's a deeper reasoning to that, yeah, but then obviously they don't get into that. And that religion there is highly Freemasonical. Like they've got top information, basically, yeah? They do. They stand kind of really high when it comes to their Bible study and their logic behind what they believe. The only problem is they were created by Charles Taze Russell, who is a Freemason and occultist, friends with L. Ron Hubbard, and buried in a Texas Freemasonical cemetery under a massive pyramid. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, the cake is a circle anyway, yeah. But the thing with why it's a ritual in my head, I can see it, is because obviously now the substance in the cake. Alright, for instance, you got a round circle, yeah, a magic circle with lights all around it, yeah. Fire. So you got the fire, you got the magic circle, yeah. Then you focus your energy, yeah, your thought, your desire, yeah, and then you blow. So you blow. So there you introduce air and you introduce water through your spittle. Yeah? So you introduce air and water to fire. You know what I'm trying to say? On a magic circle, and you make a wish. Like, it's clearly a ritual, bro. It's clearly a ritual. I don't even want to even go and look into it, cause it's just obvious to me. See, me and tradition. I don't follow tradition blindly. I try not to. Anywhere where I realise that I've just been following tradition and I ain't got a sound reasoning for why I am doing it, and I ain't looked into it, I disconnect. I undo it. I stop doing it. You get me? Until further notice. So yeah. Anyway.
And again, after that baptism of fire, you again are falling again in year of your life.
Yeah, it's like the the candle is the sacred flame. It's the keeping of the sacred flame.
The spirit.
The spirit. Which
I've been telling man about the Olympics and Prometheus and what the flame means. The torch, when they run the torch around the world and that. Remember the Olympics? We're 2000 and whatever, and we're still dealing with this ancient Greek fucking mythology type thing of the Olympics. Yeah, we know that. How can you be a Muslim or a Christian or any other religion and be partaking in something that is clearly of a religion itself? The Olympic rings, Olympia, Olympics, the torch, Prometheus' torch. Who is Prometheus? What does the torch symbolize? See, because you're somebody who would be burning fire on the forbidden fruit and eating the forbidden fruit because Satan came and gave them the forbidden fruit and rare. So the forbidden fruit is actually the torch. Yeah? It's that forbidden knowledge or whatever. It's what it's supposed to represent anyway. But I digress.
in like the Olympics, you have to keep, and in Masonry they keep the torch lit. They keep the flame, the sacred fire burning.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, that's the spirit. It's, the spirit is
the light bearer.
It's the flame. It's the spark of
light. It's the
burning
light. It's the flame. Just think of the Elton John song when Diana died. Your candle burned out wonderful. What?
I was just trying to figure out where this going with
that. Seven rays.
So anyway, I may come back to this and just have a little look through. Like I said, I've not watched it myself at all. I just clicked on 2 little bits, like skip through just to get the gist. I said, you know what? It's natural. All right, cool. So yeah, etymology, the origin of words, where they come from, their root meaning, and how it affects people. I think it's important for you to, obviously if you're learning a language or learning about language, etymology is going to be key for you because it gives you a greater understanding of how words are linked and where they come from and their descriptive nature and what the word actually means. Do you know what I mean? Not the definition you've put on it, but the actual meaning of the word. Like some words sound like the sound that they're describing. Does that make sense? Anyway, I know what I'm saying to you anyway. So yeah, I think that etymology is important, especially when you're getting around saying, good morning to everyone, or you're chatting about blessed and all these kind of things. Because do you know what? Let me just show you something real quick. There's a guy called Dr. Masaru Emoto, yeah, and he believed that thoughts and feelings and sounds can affect matter, or in this case, water. So what he'd do is project a certain energy, certain thought process, or he'd say certain words, or he'd write the word on the bottle or whatever, and he'd freeze it, and then he'd claim that there'd be differences in the crystals when you freeze the water and you take the little slide look, the microscopic look, you see the water crystals, and he says it affects it. Now this is I'm on the edge with it. I'm on the fence with whether what he was doing was actually real or not. But the notion behind it and the logic behind it stands up. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the energy and the thought, your thought processes, your mind being able to affect things out in reality, because thoughts are actually electromagnetic signals and they can be measured, so they exist, and they obviously have an interaction with all the rest of reality. Just like your breath has interaction with the rest of reality. So there is a connectivity, there is a relationship between you and other objects that you can observe and see, yeah, and you can affect these things on certain levels. So it's not new for people to say, oh, they talk to their plants or they play their plants music, or like we understand the effects of some of these things, yeah. Even when you got someone in a coma, you're still told to play them music and chat to them and hold their hands, and that's an attempt of doing something that can't be really explained scientifically, but you're doing it in a hospital, you get me, to try and get some kind of reaction out of it. So there's obviously something behind it. Like it's much deeper than that. But I don't want to sway you, and I don't want to give too much of my own opinion on it, because I'm not rock solid on any of that side of things. In terms of, I'm not trying to convince you what I know to be true. So I know thoughts affect reality, and I know that with the power of the mind, you can achieve many, many things, and you can do things that can't be explained by science. And basically, intention, and we all know about bad mind. Yeah, so I'm a spiritual person. I don't know about you, but you might be like, oh, where's the proof? And I'm like, well, we all know about bad mind, innit? We all know about that person that just had that bad mind for something of yours and it broke, and it's like, see, you bad minded it, or you say something and it comes true, and you're thinking, fuck, like I made something bad happen to someone, or my bad intentions. I don't know. Cultures talk about the evil eye, or don't wash your mouth on me, don't wish me bad. In culture, you got that break a leg and all these things. So you're hoping that things you're saying and your emotions and your thoughts actually have some kind of bearing on what is going on in reality. Yeah, you're saying prayers and shit. If you say a prayer, if you believe in prayers, then you're believing in what I'm talking about. If you believe your prayers can be answered, yeah. If you believe, if you make a wish or touch wood, then you believe in that superstition of doing something that affects reality, yeah. Saying a couple lucky words or whatever it is, Some people do the Hail Mary, the sign of the cross. Some people say Bismillah, Whatever it is, you believe that your words, in either directly or through a chain of occurrences, could lead to affecting reality. So that's basically what we're talking about anyway. Yeah? So you know what I mean? And the way that you don't want someone that you don't like, or someone that don't like you, cooking you food because of the energy. You don't want that shit, do you? Like, even if you stood there and watched everything, so you knew that they couldn't poison you, like, just the energy alone, you don't want that over your food. So yeah, man, let's not be silly and play silly games that we don't understand this inherently, that we and our intentions and our thoughts can affect. Another thing that ties into this is Heka. Heka in ancient Egypt is described as divine utterance or magic. I read a book the other day on my Readers Are Leaders, and I tried to upload it and it wouldn't upload from Instagram. And in that book, it dealt with Heka. Open up and it dealt with Heka, and it was basically ancient Egyptian Kemetic terminology for magic, particularly in words and spells and it was described in the book that I read as proper words, using a proper tone, with a proper pronunciation, and the proper intention can manipulate reality or manipulate the universe, so to speak. So yeah, man, that's what you call magic, innit? Yeah, like that's what you call magic. Anyway, let me read this page. Heka can be loosely translated as spells, but it also means divine utterance or authoritative utterance. Heka was also the name of the Egyptian Netta, divine aspect or principle, which is like a kind of entity. It's an entity, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. They tried to do this hocus pocus and got people thinking it's just principles and whatever, but this shit is real. Alright, cool. Of magic. Magic is spelt with a K at the end to distinguish it from stage illusions performed by entertainers. Magic is very real and extremely effective once utilized by those initiated to its secrets. Anyone can learn to become a practitioner of Heka. And you know, I'm not advising or telling anyone to get into this shit. Yeah. I think inadvertently we're all practicing it by speaking languages anyway, and you know, by reading signs and notices and accepting terms and conditions and putting on the subtitles and all these kind of things. I think we're already involved in this Heka or magic or word magic regardless, yeah? So, but I'm not asking you, I'm not telling you lot to actively try and practice it and because some of this is going to lead you to like, I don't know, Satanism in my eyes, or demonism and whatever you want to call it, black magic, obia, devil magic, Luciferian fucking works, whatever you want to call it, man. Everyone's got their own name for it. Everyone's got their own idea for it. Oh, working with the powers, the ancestors. Some people might call it whatever. Some people might call it jinns, demons, UFOs, extraterrestrial beings, interdimensional beings, ascended masters, spirit guides, fucking angels, blah 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 blah. But for me, I just feel like just careful, innit? Car, if you go and look up that magic with a K, it's gonna lead you to certain people. Gonna lead you to some people, man. You're gonna be linked up with man like Alistair and them people and Helena and them people. But yeah, man, we get back to that. So where was I reading? In ancient Egypt, it was believed the words In ancient Egypt, it was believed that words carried creative power and that through the use of Heka, we could become masters of our life and its path. Heka was a spiritual technology which was used to realize the spark of divinity in oneself and experience spiritual growth. Heka can also be used to achieve material goals such as healing, a new job, or increased business prosperity. The ancient Egyptian priests taught that the past, present, and future could be known, and neither time nor space could limit the power of the magician. In other words, we could literally create our reality through the use of Heka. Divination was also practiced in ancient Egypt to divine answers for the community and assist in spiritual growth. Divination was one of the branches of Heka and was seen as a magical ability. As a priest of Heka, I often divine for others, myself. It's also believed that Netta mankind gave that the Netta Ra gave mankind Heka Magick to avert the blows of fate. Now I've said before to people that I believe Ra to be synonymous with Saturn and Satan and Lucifer, the light bearer, innit, yeah? And the forbidden fruit to be forbidden knowledge, innit, yeah? So, like, I don't know. It's also believed that Ra gave mankind magic, innit, with a K, to avert the blows of fate, yeah? I.e. to overcome obstacles. What's the obstacles? Your destiny. Who's fate? Who's trying to go against fate? Who you think's trying to go against fate? I don't know. It just rings a true, innit? It rings a bell, innit? We always have choice and free will. This is divine right given to us by the Creator, the source of all, and the source of oneness and all love. I don't know what that means. Oneness and all love. Egyptians called the source of oneness by many names and recognized that this oneness has many faces and attributes. In ancient Egypt, this was referred to as one and the many. We are not adrift on the ocean. So anyway, just giving you the principle of Heka. I don't know who this guy's. I don't know, whatever. I'm just letting you know. If you looked up Heka, it's gonna boil down to that shit. Like I said, it's also like an entity or a principle who was there with the Creator, blah blah blah. But man, whatever. So Wikipedia magic words. You know, alakazam, abracadabra, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. The words, what's it? Expelliarmus. Yeah, the word that you're saying that is having some kind of effect. You get me? You're saying something, some utterance that you was taught by someone, yeah, that has some kind of effect on the reality, either your reality or shared reality, and something happens. So these secret words, these names, you know, like in certain beliefs, demonology, if you know the name of a certain spirit, then you have a certain control over it. If you're doing a what's the word? Yes, what I call it? Incantation, invocation. If you're trying to invoke or call upon some kind of spirit. So they do that in demonology. They do that in witchcraft. Yeah, they do that in churches. They do that in the mosque. They do it in all religions. You call on the name of a spirit, hoping to change something, hoping to affect or influence something. You call on the name of a spiritual being. Bare people do it. Yeah, if you believe in luck, Lady Luck, all of these other things, it's all spirits and beings that you're calling on and trying to, like, you know, make some kind of contract verbally by saying, bruh, just know what you're doing. I'm just putting it out there, innit? I'm just putting out little breadcrumbs for you, look, man. I ain't gonna break this all down. Alright, cool. Let me read this. Magic words or words of power are words which have a specific and sometimes unintended effect. They are often nonsense phrases. Don't even take that into consideration. No such thing as nonsense. Phrases used in fantasy, fiction, or by staged prestigitators. I don't know. Prestiged. I don't know what that word is. Fucking hell, what is this? Magic, along with the subgenres of, and sometimes referred to as illusion, stage magic or street magic, is performing art in which audiences are entertained by stage tricks or illusions or seemingly impossible feats using natural means. It is to be distinguished from paranormal magic. Okay. So cloak and, what do you call it? Smoke and mirrors. Alright, frequently Such words are presented as being part of a divine Adamic. Oh my God, you know about Adamic language, the original language. Yeah, this is what they're saying. The language that Adam spoke. Who was talking about this? Sarah was questioning how could the first man be named Adam if we don't speak in the same language that Adam spoke in? Because as you can look back in history, the way we use our language is very much different from how the past used it. Apparently. Now, I'm not consenting to none of this, but they're saying obviously the further back you go, the more people were speaking in cliques and shit like that, and there's no way that it'd be Adam. Because Adam is a new variation of language, yeah? And their claim is that Adam had an Adamic language. According to the Adamic language is, according to Jewish tradition and some Christians, the language spoken by Adam in the Garden of Eden. It is variously interpreted as either the language used by God to address Adam or the language invented by Adam with which he named all things, including Eve. Yeah? Remember, Adam is supposed to have named the woman or whatever. So, that being said, or other secrets in empowered language. Okay, here's another thing. I'm just showing you there's many beliefs in words being more than just ways of communicating a message, yeah, or an idea. Twilight language is a rendering of Sanskrit term. I don't know what that is. Empowered language. In mythology, medieval literature, and occultism, the language of the birds is postulated as mystical, perfect divine language, green language, Adamic language, Enochian, angelic language. Yeah. So when your aunt is speaking in tongues, yeah, and she reckons she's speaking the angel language and all them thing there, it's to wonder what's going on, mate. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Certain comic book heroes use magic words like. Even like Super Ted. They're trying to show you these kind of things. Super Ted. And then he gets all these powers. He-Man. I have the power. Lionel. Thundercats. Oh, power extreme. They're letting you know with certain words, yeah, you can unlock the thing. You can unlock the thing. That's what I'm saying, isn't it? It's morphin' time. Think of some more. I swear Care Bears had one. Captain America. Earth. Wind. Fire. Water. Heart, soul, weed. yeah. Captain America. Big up Captain America. You lot don't know. You're not ready. You're not ready. All right, cool. Easter eggs. Different computer games, magic words. Just words that activate certain things. Invocations of magic. Here's some words. Abracadabra is a bait one. Abracadabra is an incantation used as a magic word in stage magic tricks, and historically was believed to have healing powers when inscribed on an amulet. Look up that word because it's a bit deeper than that. And look up someone like John D, the real 007, yeah? John D, yeah? Type in John D Magic, yeah? Anyway, and it will take you into sigils, so then you understand that geometry, as well as words, geometric shapes can access certain things if you know how to use that right. Yeah. So with certain words and certain geometric shapes, you can do certain things. Hence, a circle with a pentagram in the middle, and then certain words, that's a portal. You understand what I'm saying to you? Come on, man. Keep up, man. Keep up. There's many things that can unlock the history of nature. Not history of nature. The secrets of reality. We got Hocus Pocus there. So all these weird words. Open Sesame, remember that story? Alibaba, the 40 Thieves. What are they trying to teach you about? Open Sesame, what was that about? I thought that was Sim Simmer. Shem Ham Forasa. Shem Ha Mephorosh, meaning the explicit name, is an originally Taniatic term describing a hidden name of God in Kabbalah, and in some more mainstream Jewish discourse it is composed of 4 to most common. Okay, I don't know. But why does it say used by Satanists? Okay, but maybe they do use it. Kabbalah, Satanists, all the same shit, man. It's all the same shit, man. Y'all worshiping the many-faced God, man. Many-faced God, God damn it. I'd be telling y'all. Yeah. Many-faced God, God damn it. Alright, cool. Magic words and technology. Hexadecimal words used by... Okay, cool. Let me come out of there. What have you got next? The meaning of the word white. Yeah? White. I'm showing you that because black. Let me show you black first. Hold on. Let me show you Blizzak. You lot with me, yeah? I hope I'm not like... I know I'm... Whatever, man. Fuck it, man. Just shut up and watch it, man. Shut up. Big up. Okay, etymology. There's this etymology online thing. And I would suggest that you read a few different etymology dictionaries. I'm just gonna type in. What am I typing in? Blah. No, let's type in morning first. Good morning. Yeah. I'm always telling people about this one. Yeah. Let's see if we can find this. Morning. See, morn. Yeah. Originally, morning sickness, simple of morning. In references to the time the flowers open, morning star. Yeah? Who's the morning star? What's the morning star? Who's the morning star? You lot, mom. Let me quickly. Okay, everyone's on this morning. This wiki. Morning. Lucifer's on the morning is the name that, according to dictionaries, refers to either Lucifer's son on the morning, based on the Latin name for the morning star. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Lucifer's son on the morning referred to himself in the Bible as the morning star. Very similar to Lucifer, man. Alright, cool. This is all hymns and that, but I'm saying in the Bible, the two people referred to as the morning star, Lucifer and Jesus. You hear me? What I was going to show you, and obviously reference to Venus, and this is another name for Sirius. I ain't in the morning, man. I ain't in the morning. Right, anyway. So yeah, I digress. I'll come back for no morning argument. Okay. I might have to come out of this one, you know. This one, I don't know what this is about. Black, burned, black, to shine, to burn. And then it says to gleam, to shine, to flash. Yeah? All this, what's it? Means bright. Black. Where's the rest of the words? Okay. It means pale. It means colorless. Yeah. What black actually means is pale. Colorless. Yeah. Where's the other bit, Mom? Obviously, we know they've put it into. But remember, French. What's blanc in French? That's white, right? Think about it. Black clothing. I'm gonna come out of this etymology thing, you know, 'cause I don't like this one. It's masking it too much. You get me? It's trying to mask it up. You just need the one that goes straight to the root word. I have to come out of this one. And the root word for black is pale. You get me? Pale, without colour, bleached. We know this, man. That ain't even new. So, at the same time, if that's the case and that's what black means, what does white mean? 'Cause I'm trying to give man the understanding that basically white was never a term that Europeans ever took upon themselves as seeing themselves as white. You understand what I'm saying, yeah? White was a spiritual term. White was a term for enlightened people, and the first people that were using it were those that fell under or got into this little secret society or whatever they want to call it of demons and fucking people called the Great White Brotherhood. Yeah? After the Great White Brotherhood was established and whatever, obviously the term white to describe people started getting used more and more. Yeah? Let me see. Okay, where should I go to the Great White Brotherhood? Okay, no. Should I go to white people? Let me go to Great White Brotherhood. Alright, cool. Great White Brotherhood. The Great White Brotherhood in belief systems akin to theosophy. Yeah? Theosophy, just read that. You can pause this. Yeah, there you go. By the Russian Helena Blavatsky. Okay. Esoteric religious movement. Okay. And New Age. I'm telling everyone about this New Age shit that everyone's doing. Yeah. Namaste up there, blood clot, are said to be supernatural beings of great power who spread spiritual teachings through selected humans. Yeah. The members of the Brotherhood may be known as the masters of the ancient. Yeah. Enlightened beings originally identified by the theosophists Helen Blavatsky, yeah, and others like Aleister Crowley. I'm sure he's in there somewhere. Wisdom of the Ascended Masters. The first person to talk about them in the West was Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. After she and other people claimed to have received messages from them, these included Aleister Crowley, who's an English occultist, blah, 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 blah. Alice Bailey, the founder of modern handwriting and modern sign language. Yeah? Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Let me try and click on this bitch. Hold on. Let me just try and click on this bitch. Where she spent most of her life writing as a teacher, blah, 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 blah. A long way system of research, spirituality related, solar system, meditation, healing, blah, blah, nations. Yeah, and Alice Bailey founded the Lucas Trust, which was first called the Lucifer Trust. Yeah, and they changed the name to the Lucas Trust. Oh, I ain't got that. But yeah, go and check out these bitches, man. Alice Bailey and the Lucas Trust. And check out what they're on. And they're basically here to guide, to help fulfill the plans of these demons, these other entities that they are parading and masking themselves as people like Maitreya and all these ascended masters and shit like that. But yeah, man, you not gotta get into this shit and understand how this links in, because these people like the Lucas Trust, these people are closely linked with the UN and like they're in government, and man, it's just some deep shit. Alright, cool. The idea of a secret organization of enlightened mystics guiding the spiritual development of the human race was pioneered in the late 18th century. Yeah. So look, remember, I'm gonna show you when people start calling themselves white people. Yeah. Look at the dates here. The late 18th century. Yeah. German Catholic mystic. Yeah, and philosopher. I'm gonna show you that these lot have been worshipping Darby and working with them for how long? Alright. The cloud upon the sanctuary, called the body of the mystics who remained active after their physical deaths on earth, the Council of Light. Yeah, light, Lucifer, light. There you go again. Fire. Eckhart Schonson's proposed communion of living and dead mystics in turn drew partially on Christian ideas such as the communion of the saints, yeah, and particularly on previously circulating European ideas about secret societies, yeah, of enlightened mystical or magic adepts, typified by the Rosicrucians. Okay, it's a spiritual and cultural movement which arose in Europe in the 17th century. The Rosicrucians, yeah. Funny things about the Rosicrucians, though, yeah. These are an ancient, or not an ancient, an old secret society, yeah, of devil worshippers, yeah. Okay, the Rosicrucian. Now look at their cross. Yeah, this is the Rosicrucian cross, yeah. Seen that? Seen that anywhere, that cross? Seen this cross anywhere? I'll try this. Ring any bells, man? These guys ring any bells? You know who the Knights of Malta are? Huh? You know who the Knights of fucking Malta are, man? Yeah? You see this? This Catholic connection? Oh, who's this? Who's that? Not Nelson, man! No, man, not Nelson! Not Nelson, man! Ooh! This your guy, man. It's not my guy. This your guy. Oh, Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu, man. You get me? You know who these motherfuckers are? The Rosicrucians? Are they dead? Are they alive? Are they here still? Yeah? Alright, cool. Let me ask you. Let me see. Just in case you thought that it wasn't the Rosicrucian cross, I just wanted to show you this is the Knight of Malta Rosicrucian cross. Yeah? Same one that Hitler fucked with. Yeah? See that shit, man? Yeah? Always be fucking with that shit, man. This shit's in the crown, in the royal crown. Who else is a Knight of Malta? Fucking, who was... There was another guy I was going to show you lot. There was another Knight of Malta. You lot love these fucking political celebrities. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'll just quickly wrapping this up. Ideas about the secret council of sages under several names was widely shared feature of late 19th century and early 20th century esotericism. In his book of Black Magic and of Pacts, hinted at the existence of a secret group of initiates who dispense truth and wisdom to the worthy. A young Aleister Crowley reading this wrote White and was directed to read von Estroin's book. Crowley's search for the secret wisdom eventually led him to become a neophyte in the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Yeah? Ooh, what is that cross? I felt like I seen that cross somewhere else, man. Oh, but I thought we was talking about Rosicrucians and what's going on, man? These people all look linked. Ritual magicians. Anyway, I digress. I'm just saying that some motherfuckers that got time on their hands and got money at their disposals find this shit interesting and feel like they're gonna spend time with it. So it can't just be me sitting here that thinking that words have sound and power and that they mean shit. Alright, cool. Anyway, just showing you that thing about white people, yeah? White people is a racial classification specifier used mostly for people of European descent. Depending on context, nationality, and point of view, the term has at times been expanded to encompass certain persons of North African, South, Middle Eastern, and South Asian descent. Persons who are often considered non-white in other contexts. The usage of white people or white race for a large group of mainly European populations defined by their light skin, among other characteristics, and contrasting with black people, Amerindians, and other coloured people or persons of colour, originated in the 17th century. Remember? Okay. It was only during the 19th century that the vague category was transformed in a quasi-scientific system. Yeah? Scientific racialism is the pseudo-scientific belief that empirical evidence exists to support or justify racism, racial inferiority, or racial superiority. Historically, scientific racist ideas receive credence in the scientific community but are no longer considered scientific. Of race and skin, the term Caucasian is sometimes used cinema, seamless, blah, blah, blah. The concept of a unified white race did not achieve universal acceptance in Europe when it first came into use in the 17th century or in the centuries afterwards. The strongest proponents of racialism in the 20th century, fascist Italy and Nazi Germany, regarded some European people such as Slavs, yeah, as racially distinct from themselves. Prior to the modern age, no European people regarded themselves as white, but rather defined their race, ancestry, or ethnicity in terms of their nationality, Greek, Roman, etc. Yeah? But we're still over here calling ourselves fucking black. They still don't really, they might say white, yeah, but then they can still identify themselves as being boom, 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 boom. I'm from here, I'm German, my dad's Scottish, I'm Irish, I'm blah, 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 I'm blah, blah. You get me? Yeah, like, it's a construct, man. Colour things are construct. These labels that we're giving each other or giving ourselves. Constructs designed by people recently, not very long ago, couple hundred years ago. There's no accepting standards for determining geographic barrier between whites and non-whites. Alright, anyway. Where am I? I digressed. I wasn't on this. So yeah. Also, another thing is like in a creation story, like a biblical one, you got "Let there be light." These are the words that created things, isn't it? So saying that whoever the creator is or whatever the creator is, used a form of speech, so to create. So it's letting you know there that speech has the power to create or to affect, to cause, to do something more than just to be heard, but to actually affect reality. What else I was gonna go into? So yeah, etymology. Another way where it's not just etymology we're in now. Now I can go into legalese. Legalese. Let me see what I got for you. Legalese is basically it's the use of English, but it's used in a separate way from common understanding. So it is in essence esoteric. Yeah, in essence it is a what's the other word? Occult. It's hidden. You know, shit's hidden, man. So let's. The specialized language of the legal profession, yeah? Okay. Recent examples of legalese from the web. Alright, let me show you about legalese, man, quickly. And then I'll wrap this shit up, man. Just giving you some shit to run off and go and go and look into. Sorry. I can't have other people's music playing and I don't know what going and if you know I'm getting some copyright thing. That's dead out. Might be talking though. No. Let's hurry up, man. Okay.
Therefore, those skilled in defense are not so because of the foresters' walls. This is why high walls and deep moats do not guarantee security, while strong armor and effective weapons do not guarantee strength. If opponents want to hold firm, attack where they are unprepared. If opponents want to establish battlefront, appear where they do not expect you. Shalom. Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's again his brother Tazadah, coming to you through the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah. All praises due to the Most High and His Mashiach. Today I want to deal with legalese. For those of you that's not aware of what that means, when lawyers and judges converse, many of you are under the assumptions that you understand the lingo that they're speaking, that you understand the language that they're speaking because it's English.
I might have to dust.
And you was
I hope I don't
raised
come across
speaking
like
an
this.
English language. Be aware of legalese
Probably do though.
when you're in the court.
Alright, let
Be aware.
me fuck with someone else that can maybe break it down a bit quicker. Not info fucking wars, man. Devils, man.
Maxwell. For those of you who have heard from me and know about me, for those of you who don't know about me, for 53 years, starting back in 1959, I began talking about secret societies and fraternal orders and the occult world of mysticism and religion and government, all the conspiracies going on in government and banking, and all of the chicanery going on in religion.
Bro, I hate slow speakers, man.
Religion, banking, and the whole entire Western civilization system, when it was based on lies, deception, corruption. So I've been doing this, talking publicly for the last 53 years about this horrible mess that the world was in and was going to get worse. Well, now at 2013, it's gotten worse. I was invited to go to movie studios at night and recording studios and just do slide presentations with us, slide projector on the sound stages of Hollywood, talking about Illuminati and secret societies and the occult world and the Knights Templars and the secret societies of religion and how they impact government today. And it's finally caught on. Finally, it has finally caught on. I did a video many years ago called Matrix of Power. I did something called Matrix. I just feel that I've done the best I could to wake my fellow. No, I'm not going to be able to download 53 years of knowledge that I have, I've accumulated. So much I will never be able to tell anyone. And I do feel that that is a shame, because I've been in the company of extraordinary people all my life. I put myself there purposely. So I've been in the company of a lot of people who are masters at what they do, masters of research and knowledge and understanding. Your body is a corporation. That's why when you die, you're a corpse, because you are a corporation. You are a company. And as such, you may be good company, you may be bad company, but you're a company by law. It's called International Maritime Admiralty Law.
There you go.
The law of money, corporations, the law of the sea. You are a company, a corporation. And therefore, anything you do is business. That may not be my business, that may be your business, but it's a business by law. Therefore, anything you do, which is your business, anything you do must have a license because it's called a business license. So if you're going to get married, that means one corporation is going to do business with another corporation.
You need a marriage license.
So you have to have a marriage license.
Contracts.
Anything you do, you need to get a permit or a license. And in America, you have something called the Statue of Liberty. It is not the Statue of Freedom. It's the Statue of Liberty. Liberty is what a sailor gets when he gets off a ship in the Navy. When you pull into port and you ask the captain if you can go on land, if he gives you the permission, and he may not. But if you get permission to go out, you have liberty. Sailors call it, we got liberty, not freedom. In America, you have no freedom. You have liberty. Liberty means you ask permission. You get a permit. You have a license. A license is simply an agreement and a permit. A license is a permit to do something which without that license would be unlawful. So therefore you can't get married because you're a business. And she's a business. And what the two of you do is none of my business. But the point you need to understand is that you are a corporation. Your body is being bought and sold on the New York Stock Exchange every day, and you have no idea in the world.
This applies to you in England as well, yeah? So don't just feel like, because he's saying America. It applies to you as well because you have a birth certificate. So your birth certificate number is also floating on the stock market, and it's your legal fiction is also floating on the stock market. And when you go into a bank and get loans and whatever, they're essentially loaning you your own money from the treasury, which is part of your dividends, which is every citizen of this, every member, every citizen in this corporation is entitled to money, and everyone has their share. So they take out money based on you, and when you ask for a loan, when you go to get something on HP or whatever, pay down on something, that's essentially these people get a contract of you signing your name on a piece of paper. They take it to the treasury and say, yo, Bob or John or Susie or Cassandra, it said that I can get some of their money, and look, they've signed this piece of paper to let you know that it's all good. And then they read the paper and they're cool. Then they give your money to these people, and these people come to you and give you your money and then charge you interest for doing it. So make you pay it all back to them and charge you interest on top of it. And really, essentially, they're masking the fact that it is your money. So this is how you can get out of debt if you make them culpable for such things. You let them know, and it's a deep process. But anyway, let me hear what he's got to say. Sorry.
So people talk about having to go to court. They talk about how the government does this and the government did that. And people get scared to death because they got to go to court, which you should be scared of court. But why do people go to court? Because you play basketball on a court. You play tennis on a court. Wake up. I've been talking about this stuff for 53 years, but nobody seems to listen to it very much anymore. The reason why you go to court is a game. It's like tennis. And how do you play tennis? You play with a racket. So when you go into a basketball game to play on the court, the whole idea is you have two teams. One team is a team of lawyers, and another team of lawyers. And the whole idea in a court, because it's maritime admiralty, international banking law, the whole idea is to put the ball back in the other guy's court. So therefore, that one team picks up the ball and they throw it over here to you. Now your team picks it up and throws the ball back over their court. And then they pick the ball back and throw it back into your court. And you have a judge who's the referee. You always have a referee, even at a baseball game. You've got the referee who makes the decision as to what really happened. I don't care what happened. He decides what happened. Whatever he says happened, that's what happened. Then the next thing you need to understand is that there's a gate, a fence and a gate in the courtroom, and people sit out here and the judge sits inside. Why is there a fence and a gate? Because the gate represents a water gate, like in the Panama Canal. When the gate opens, the water comes in and raises the ship up. So therefore, when you were called and you put your hand on the gate, you are opening up the floodgate under maritime admiralty law. Well, happily, Americans have no idea about any of this. But once you understand how this really works, and you begin to see how, look it up in a dictionary. When a ship pulls into a harbor, it's got like let's say $8 million worth of Toyotas on the damn ship. It pulls into a harbor. It's got $800 million worth of business on that ship, and it comes in on water. So we say when the ship comes in, it parks at the dock. The ship comes in on water. $800 million worth of banking just came. It's called birth.
Legal contract. So it's not law, it's a contract. It's something they can apply as fictitious upon fictitious persons.
So they make us into
fictitious persons, and then they can apply these statutes on it, because the statutory law does not apply to human beings, because it's not law until it's consented to by the governed. Statute is law, but only becomes the force of law if it's consented to by the governed. So with
by the governed.
By the governed, you're the governed.
So I can say that to anyone who wants to enforce a statute upon me, if I choose, I can say I don't consent.
You can say that, but you're being made an offer. So it has to come in contract form. So you're being made an offer. So what they'll do is they'll offer you something, and in a contract there has to be offer, consideration, and acceptance. So you have to be made the offer, you have to consider the offer, and you have to accept the offer.
I'm not aware of having been made any offers about any statutes.
No, but you are being made an offer, because commercial law works that way.
And you're saying it's all commercial law, that every statute is...
The statute law was wrote specifically for the powers that be to manipulate, to protect themselves, to do exactly what they wanted to create, and to control us as if we were in slavery. It's the evolution of slavery, that's all it is. It's very, very simply done as well. But you have to look at the law, and you look at the great laws that have gone through in this country, Declaration of Rights, 1688-89, Bill of Rights, Act of Settlement, the Act of Union, all these documents that are these very, very powerful, famous statutes that are still, one of them is still in the law books. Oxford's law book just recently they brought one out, and it's still in there, and it still names the Act of 1701, the Act of Settlement, because it is so important to what they do and what they've actually achieved with that. And they needed these statutes in place. The statute law is very, very, it's right in the form of a constitution. If you look at what constitutions are, they're the fundamental principles a government adopts to make for society to conform to. Society being the biggest word there, being the socially dominant members of any community. Yeah. Also translated as a partnership, where all parties have to consent.
So if I get this right then, what you're saying is that apart from laws, which are different, statutes are all passed with some sort of presumed consent from us.
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay, excuse me.
A statute law is a negotiable instrument. It's a bill. It's a money-making order. Right? The government, as being the cabinet, the Privy Council, will take the statute and they'll meet at number 10 with the bankers and they'll sell it to them.
So they pass a law, statute.
No, they make a contract. It's not law. It's a contract.
Okay.
They get this contract and they'll go to the bankers and they'll say to the bankers, the private sector, they'll say, we've got this statute and we reckon it's worth $6 billion.
Well, for instance, it might be something like we're going to put up speed cameras everywhere.
Ideal example, okay? We've got this statute, we reckon it could generate a revenue of about $6 billion. That's fine, okay?
Per annum.
Per annum. Will you lend us that on the strength of that, but we'll give you everything in excess to cover the principal sum plus the interest. So what they do is they sell it. They sell it to the bankers for the money.
In advance of passing the law?
Not passing the law.
Statute.
It's not a law, it's a statute. So what happens is, they sell this to the bankers. They've then got the police as two different things. The police are, the human being is a policeman or woman who is there to uphold the law, serve and protect, never deny or delay right or justice to any individual who lives in this country, no matter where they're from. Then you've got the police officer. Now, a police officer is a fiction. A police officer is a corporate employee who is enforcing statutes to make sure the bankers get their money back. Now, they need then these corporate courts. And then you go into a corporate court. And
they're not called corporate courts, are
no,
they?
no. But if you want to do the research, which I'll tell you about later, and you can go and do it. The people at home who've got the internet can go and do this right now, if they want to. Right? The corporate court is then there to get jurisdiction over you to make you pay. Because they need you to pay. Because without your money, and we'll talk about money as well, because that's quite funny, but without your money, they can't pay back the bankers.
But if you're saying that these statutes require your consent...
They've got to get consent from you.
So, have they not already got consent?
How can they possibly...
So how do they go through the process of getting consent without you being aware of it?
Fixed penalty fine. Classic. Fixed penalty fine. Right?
Okay.
A fixed penalty notice. A notice is an offer. They're offering you something.
You're going back to the definition now of the word notice.
But this is legalese. This is a different language.
Let's do this.
This is a language of the law society.
Okay, let's go back to this. Let's look at the word notice. What does notice mean?
It means it's an offer. Basically, they're offering you something. And what they'll do is they'll offer you something. They're offering you the ability to pay them some money. So it's a contract. They're making you an offer. You've got to consider it, and there's a consideration built in. And the consideration is that if you pay within 7 days, then it's half the price that we're saying it is. And if you don't pay within a certain 24 days, whatever, 14 days, it's the price that we're saying it is. Right. Very cleverly done. You've been offered something, the chance to pay them some money because you're in statutory violation. Okay.
You're in violation of a statute because you've sped, presumably, or whatever you've done.
Okay.
Parked on a yellow line.
They lock into the contract the consideration. Yeah, there's a consideration. If you pay now, you don't have to worry about it. But also what they're locking is an estoppel by acquiescence. And the estoppel...
Well, let's do it slowly. An estoppel by acquiescence.
Yeah, basically, if you ignore it, then you agree to the terms.
There you go.
Okay.
In law, in business law, well, in this legalese type of law, failure to respond means acceptance, and you see that in this world we live in, isn't it? Yeah. So you accept by not saying anything. Then that means you're cool with it. You get me? And you know that happens in real life. A man said, yeah, but you never said nothing. I said, yeah, just because I never said, you know what I mean? I was busy, I was distracted. But because you didn't get nothing, you took that as a yes. Because you can. You understand? So just be careful, innit? Because you might not speak up on certain issues, and silence means consent. I've got bars that say that, you get me? But yeah, silence is consent. Silence is consent. Yeah, so you have to be vocal and say and speak out on things that you don't agree with. Yeah, and they want you to do the opposite and stay silent, and that means it's nuts. But yeah, man.
Ignore it, you agree?
If you ignore it, what estoppel means is basically if you do not answer or offer back, because you can't dishonour it, you've got to offer back. This is contract law. You can't go into dishonour.
So, okay. So if, for instance, say you get a ticket for speeding and it has this offer and you don't want to be subject to it, what do you do next then?
You offer something back.
What, like a button?
If you want it. Wouldn't work.
Okay, well, talk us through it then.
Well, if you first thing you do is say, well, you're trying to talk. the wording on the document, what will happen is the original fixed penalty notice is you'll send a letter off. So what you do is you write the letter very specifically. You don't use misters, you don't use postcode. If you do put your postcode, put it in a box capital. Anything in four corners doesn't exist in commercial law.
So you put square brackets round.
Yeah, anything in four corners does not exist. Okay? So what you do is...
This is written somewhere in law, is
Go look it up. Go look up the four corner rule.
I'm asking a question.
Yeah, go and look up the four corner rule. Go look it up now.
Okay, the four
Get
corner.
the internet, look it up, find out what a four corner rule is.
So you can put your name in that if you want.
Absolutely. It means it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
hold on a minute. Challenge accepted. Right. Yeah, so I typed in four corner rule and I don't know. I'm not sure I can find exactly what he's talking about. There's something about a four corner rule meaning basically not what he's talking about. Four corner rule, yeah. You write an address in a government form or letter agency, put your zip code. Place your signature in a box. It is actually invisible and can't be counted. Is this for real? And if so, is there anything? I've watched a lot of videos and you might scratch yourself, but I don't think his info hits any home run, being that I couldn't find anything about that video other than him saying, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's alright, cool. I'm not sure about that. I'd have to look it up better in my own time. Bear in mind, this is a long time ago. So I don't know what the top hits are now. I'd probably have to do a lot more digging than I can do right now. I'm tired, you know. Alright, cool.
You're reversing that. What you're saying is, I don't exist. You're talking to a human being. You're not talking to a person. You're talking to a human being.
Okay.
Did this human being produce you any form of evidence to prove who they are?
You're asking the question of them.
Yeah, you ask them questions. What you do is you have to put it in question form because that's how you offer back. So you ask them a series of questions.
Right. Okay.
And you adapt the questions to what your needs are. Classic example was we go to a restaurant and we eat a meal, and the restaurant the waiter comes up and he says, "Here's a notice of how much your meal was tonight. Would you pay it or ask for a bill?"
I'd probably ask for a bill, wouldn't I? Yes.
You'll be given a notice. You'll be given an offer. A summons, if you look at a summons is legally synonymous with the word invitation. When you get notice of summons to go to court, you're being given an offer to go to their place of business. You're being invited. You've got a choice.
So I think we're going to have to go to a break now, John, and we're going to get back to this. So we're going for the break. If you'd like to...
So yeah, he's just basically getting into this legalese shit, yeah? A good thing to look up, if you're not familiar with any of this kind of thing, is Black's Law Dictionary, yeah? Black's Law Dictionary. Go get you a copy of that, and you've got to get certain editions. But when you get into Black's Law, you see, let me see what this video is. You see the real meaning of certain words according to the law definition. So when you send anything legal, any legal, which is different from lawful, any legal letter, documentation, you got to understand what it's actually telling you. It may use words like may, or it may use words like must, but really what it means is may. Because in legalese, must means may. So if it says you must pay, blah, 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 by rare, said you may pay it. You can if you want to. If you decide to enter into this contract with me and, yeah, deep.
So,
What's this?
I like that. We're rolling. I think it's time to bring our queen on. Because
it's not what law really is. Whether you're more or not more, I'm going to start with what law really is. Most of us think that we go into a courtroom and understand the difference between a court and a courtroom, that the people who purport to use law really use words of art to make you believe, in fact, that law is on the table when you walk into a courthouse or a courtroom, when in fact that's not true. And I would like to share with you tonight, regardless of your religious persuasion, what law really is. Law,
quick.
And as Muslims would say, all law is A-L-L space L-A-W. All law. All law. So for anyone who's of a Christian persuasion, don't be misled. And when you hear the term all law is God, all right? That is also what we would say in lawful terms, a misnomer. Allah is not God. God has no capacity and no standing to all law. Because God means governmental ordinance departments. There is no comparison. Now, who can use law? Law can only be used by people who are in their sovereign capacity. And as I will share with you tonight, the majority of the people in the world, and I'm not going to get into all of the details about that, but the majority of the people in the world, 99% of them live in slavery today. So in 1863, via the Emancipation Proclamation, and I challenge ordinances and resolutions of a municipality of the city of Philadelphia, which is a private...
some videos to watch, bro.
Those codes, those statutes do not apply to you. With them and understanding that the Constitution is a contract. It's a contract between who? It's a contract between the United States Republic and the United States of America. Can you bear with me for a minute and let me put this on? Because I can't. The first thing that happens when you walk into a courtroom in your corporate ward status is that they already make the assumption that you are a ward of the state and that you don't know any better. So they immediately start adjudicating you. As Moors, the first thing that happens when we walk into a courtroom is that we place our status on the record. On the record, we come in with our flag, we come in with our treaty, we come in with the Constitution we signed with them, and understanding that the Constitution is a contract. It's a contract between who? It's a contract. And they will go to war against a country and take the people out of their sovereign capacity and say they're... When they ask you your name, you never say, my name is... That's a label. What do you say? I am. I am. You never swear on the Bible. You affirm. You affirm on the Bible. And as Sister Thana here said to me, oh, they try to trick you. They'll say, do you swear or affirm? No. You just say, I affirm. Because what? I am. And who you are. And that's your status. And nobody can compete with that. Nobody can take that from you. And no matter what paperwork you submit to a court, what is the most important thing is when you walk into a courtroom and you speak the law. And when you speak the law in a courtroom, guess what? You speak it into existence because a thought is an activity. It's real. It may not be something you can touch, but as soon as that thought transpires into a word, it becomes a spell. That's why they call it spelling.
Come on.
You get it? Now, law is based upon the zodiac. Now, when you walk into a courtroom, there's all kinds of things going on. There's the zodiac. Now, Just like we have the zodiac, which I just not to be sovereign. So the only way they can deal with you is in a military fashion. Y'all understand that?
Sister seems
Okay.
on some deep shit. So I'm gonna watch this. So basically, in conclusion, I'm taking you through the fact that words are more than they seem in any way you can fathom. The words that are used to govern you and us are more than they seem. Words that we use on an everyday basis are more than they seem and have double meanings, triple meanings. That's why I like rap so much, because it helps you like understand language in a deeper way. Do you understand? Obviously, I use slang, and just depends on my environment. Is how I communicate. But right now, I'm buzzing and I'm tired, so I use the easiest words as possible. Fighting for your life in a court, or having to prove your point in a debate, will bring out a different side of you, and you use different parts of your brain. Anyway, that being said, yeah, words have power. So this was etymology, word, sound, and power. They got power. Some words have got power over you because you don't understand them, or because we don't understand them. Some words we have power over, and we have to understand them. We have to understand the power that our words have as well. When you're speaking to each other, we need to now be very thoughtful, try and break the spells, break the repetition and the traditions in which we've been going about things, and actually critically explore and dissect everything around us, even the way we talk and how we talk and why we talk, because they're using certain things over us, certain mechanisms are being used over us to control us, and language is definitely one. So yeah, etymology, word, sound, power. We went through what is etymology, intentions, vibrations, the effects of words or whatever on matter. Heka, definition of Heka, basically the divine utterance, proper words, proper tone, proper pronunciation, proper intention, aka proper thoughts. Broke down a couple words. Watched that documentary. What else did we talk about? Incantations, legalese, verbal contracts, black law dictionary, and yeah, like the hidden meanings, the origins of words and shit, man. So yeah, look up into that. Hopefully, I've given you something for you lot to look into and spark your minds. Ain't done the best job, I don't believe, but bruh. Anyway, man, it's better than man sitting there chatting shit, innit? Alright, cool. Big up everyone that's tuned in, locked in. Hit subscribe, like, comment, share it with people if you wish to. And thanks for your time and that, you get me, man? Hope that was of some service. You get me?